They put me in the back of the bus like I'm Rosa Parks or some shit. Hey, do you guys see that? I just slam a bunch of coffees. African supremacy. Afiotoso. Whatever they say. And then I'm out here dangling the donut. Come on. The hill. You guys have been hearing me talk about Crusader. Good morning, y'all. Today's gonna be an interesting one. One you guys have definitely been asking for. Day in the life, Uncle Rami. I wanna see how you live. So I decided to do it. You guys happy? I'll be honest with you. I know it's gonna be a fun day, but in my head, I'm like, day in the lives, I don't wanna become that guy. Look at my life. Look how beautiful I'm living. You living this beautiful? I don't like that shit in every regard. You know what I mean? So I kind of liked in my head, I like to keep the soul of this page. It's extremely raw, and we're gonna try to continue on. Could this be bad? Could be. Could it be great? Of course. We're Crusaders. We knock it out the park. But this is what I usually do in the morning. This is from my balcony. Show you a little bit of around, Right? Got a beautiful view. I wake up in the morning, I don't look at myself. I just straight up I look out, You look out, you think it's beautiful. But in today's video, I'm gonna take you with me through a pretty typical day. Maybe some things aren't every single day, but for the most part, this is gonna be clockwork. This is exactly, you guys are gonna see how I operate, how I do things. I'm gonna limit the work just because that is most of my day, but I'll show you, this is where I do work from. I'll give it to you at all. I got your back, man, okay? I got your back. I like coming out here. Another balcony right there. Look all out. Say your blessings. Beautiful. All right, back to work. That's pretty much how I operate, unfortunately. Open up this door. Yeah, my room's dirty. Stop asking questions. Close it like a damn gentleman. I go to the bathroom, do my thing. Not too shabby. Pretty solid, to be honest, but I'm not having you guys, come, I'm gonna brush my teeth right now, come join. Nobody needs to see that shit. You know what I mean? This is why I hate when people vlog or show a day in the life is, listen, dog, we know how you brush your teeth, okay? I don't need to see that. You know what I mean? Why would I shower in the morning if I'm gonna have to work out twice and then shower again? My skin's gonna dry out. I like to shower at the end of the night. It's kind of the way I like to do it. Yeah, sometimes do I miss a shower? I do. All right, I'm not gonna sit here and cap. It's because you're gonna see. It's because I swim a lot. I'm always dunking in the water, you're gonna see, okay? Just chill out. All right, let's get to it. All right. I instantly go outside and start doing work. Honestly, boys, I was thinking about scrapping the whole video and just going coffee talks. Let's be real, dude. Our coffee talks are special. Day in the life. That's enough shitting on day in the life. It's a day in the life video, and you want to know something, you're going to watch the entire thing, and you're going to fucking love it. That's what's going to happen. But real talk, what I do from here is I open up my computer, vitamin D station while blue light maxing, right? A lot of people are terrified of blue light. Well, coming from someone that is chronically overdosed with blue light maxing, coming from the Midwest where we didn't have sun for basically 9 months out of the year. So the fact that I have sun now to counteract all the blue light that I've done, I'm essentially eradicating any and all bad blue light symptoms that have been unwillingly, I think, well, technically willingly. It's not like, I have free will. I can do whatever the hell I want, but I also understand what I have to do. So anyways, it's to basically counteract all of that bullshit. But this is essentially what I do. This is not a joke. I get up. Yes, I brush my teeth, by the way. I told you guys I was going to do it, but no, I did not shower. There's just no reason for it. Then I got my trunks on. Why do I have my trunks on? Well, because what I like to do throughout the day is just take dunks in, come back out, do more work. It's nice. It makes it feel and plus the pool's pretty cold, so it jars me up. So once I start getting a little bit tired, jump in the pool, come back out, back to operation. I'm pretty much gonna do this until I live. God, the coffee talk does sound great, doesn't it? God, let's not lie to ourselves. All right, we'll do it. Don't worry, we got plenty of coffee talks in the chamber, but we're gonna get more into day in the life stuff. It's the first one I've ever done, really. I've done a full day of eating, but never a day in the life, really. And so you guys are gonna see how I live. Like I said, you're gonna love it. But coffee talk to the real ones, you know what I'm saying? And then from there, I keep a buck. I have this nicotine gum, and I just chew on it while I have my coffee, because according to John Daly, one of the best golfers of all time, he said that nicotine plus caffeine equals protein. Obviously, I'm not sure if that passes any line of questioning amongst the science guys, but That's personally how I do it. That's not an endorsement for you guys to be like, oh, dude, I should definitely do it because I'm not getting enough work done. It's like, dog, now you're just going to be a guy who needs nicotine and coffee to do absolutely nothing. You don't need it. Trust me. It's a tool at the end of the day. I'm not perfect. I don't do everything perfectly. But that's it. Now I'm just going to straight up operate. Usually I take off my shirt, but honestly, the heat's hitting. You know, the heat is heating. So after doing a bunch of work for the last few hours, I hit the vitamin D station. It's just basically a fuel that I just allow to soak in. Yeah, my shirt's off when I'm at the desk, but it's different than just really soaking in the rays. If you guys are new here, we don't operate like dim lights, right? Obviously, when I'm working. But when you hit the vitamin D station, although I'm kind of getting it while I'm at my desk and just kind of doing work, plus I have to go in and out because you guys know this. A lot of people that are like, oh, dude, I love working on the beach. Anyone that's ever worked on a beach or in the sun knows that your computer overheats. There's just bullshit everywhere. So you have to constantly go in and out of the house. It's extremely annoying. But that's why I like to just have my time, maybe like 10, 15 minutes. And it's not something I always do. If I'm cooking, I'm cooking. I don't ever, when you're hitting momentum with your work, dude, just quadruple down. But when you kind of feel yourself hitting a wall, I just come over here and I just soak in the rays. Just absorb it. Mentally, I'm locked into the sun, watching it, feeling it as it absorbs inside my skin. And we become more powerful. Sun's a life force, you know? So next what I do is, because once you get a decent sweat going on, then comes the next part, which is this. Nice little cold plunge. It's fucking cold. It feels extremely good because now think about it. Now I'm awake. Now I'm ready to rock and roll, get back into the work, inject myself back into blue light maxing. But it's nice to take those opportunities. Listen, I grew up in the Midwest, so obviously I'm used to not having sun, like I said, for 9 months out of the year. All I'm doing with an environment like this is just taking full advantage, right? I can dunk in a pool and wake myself up. Now from here, I'm gonna crank out more work, and I'll probably see you guys. You wanna know something? I'll show you guys a set. You guys have had enough workout videos, but I'm not gonna do any tutorial type stuff where we're kind of talking through stuff. You're just gonna see me bang away some weights, and it's chest day. I mean, get the hell out of here. Yeah, and then I re-inject myself back in. That's exactly. Got this pot of coffee. Yes, I'm not joking. That's pretty much what I do all day long, is I just slam a bunch of coffees. But now I get back to work. A lot of people ask me, oh, what do you do for a living? Listen, bro, I run like underground pigeon fights usually is what I like to do. So I got to get in touch with my clients and do all that bullshit. But no, real talk. I just have businesses in the online space. Right now I have coaching clients as well. So a lot of times I just want to make sure they're okay. That's usually the first thing I do in the morning is just answer a bunch of messages. I have a ridiculous amount of notifications. I answer every single DM. Try to get to every single comment just because those are the two things that in my head, if I don't do right away, I just won't do it. And also I'm fresh. I like to make sure I'm giving comments and responses that are actually thoughtful, not just like, you know, random stuff. Then from there, it's just working on moving businesses forward. That's quite literally it. And then right now it's all in on Crusader coming to June 22nd. It's basically my way of taking what's happened in the fitness world that's kind of gone soulless and to really, really inject real brotherhood. Not like in the cheesy way where it's like, we're gonna have a community. It's gonna be dope. I'm telling you right now, it's going to 100% set the precedent for how business should be done in the fitness world versus it just being kind of just like, yeah, here's a program to help you out. You know, I think there's a way of doing that. Of course, I have those things. I want to be able to help people become walking units. That's kind of what we aim to do, but it's about injecting what we're really after in this world, and that's also solving the isolation issue, but in a real way where we all have vested interests. And I'm just setting up the pieces, and it's funny, it's the same way as I lift. My lifting formula just basically gives your body no choice but to adapt, get stronger, lose fat. And I'm pretty much doing the same exact thing in the business world. I'm just basically setting it up pillars where everybody does have a vested interest in watching one another win in a real way. It's not something people have done because it's a very difficult problem to solve. But I aim to solve that problem because I know I'm capable of it. And then obviously in addition, a bunch of content. I mean, it's all day for me. And that's where it's like, now what I need to do is probably start worrying about how do I have people do things for me that, you know, can deliver the same level of passion. I'll always run my content, you know, I'll always be sending out messages. I'll never get rid of those things, but just things that anyone else can do that's just more ticking off boxes, they probably can do it better than I can. So that's how I'm kind of looking at it. You have to be honest with yourself, you have to be humble, and you have to have humility to understand that, hey, there's probably a better way of doing this and you're probably not capable of it, nor do you have the bandwidth to figure it out. Anyways, I'll see you guys in the lift. See? I'm giving you guys extra. I told you guys, like, hey, you'll see me in the lift. And I gave you, you know, a real glimpse. I'm about to operate on the computer, by the way. A lot of people talk about, oh, what kind of computer? Macs. You have to run a Mac, mainly because I'm technologically inept, put it lightly and to put it succinctly. So anyways, I love you guys. See you guys in a sec. Yep, now we're about to hit the lift, but before the lift, what I like to do, let me show you, I make myself my little hydration cocktail. I sip on it. Usually do I put it in a mug? No, but the rest of them broke, unfortunately. So this is what I got to deal with, but it feels pretty classy. Absolutely phenomenal. I will put it down in the description, that way you guys know what I'm sipping on. And then while I sip on that, I usually get everything situated, you know, for the day that I have. For example, today's chest day, so I know I want to start off with weighted dips. I'll get that all situated, and that way when I enter the lift, I'm right in. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, get into the lift, baby. I told you boys, I'm gonna come at you live 100% with the lift. Listen, you guys already know the deal. I'm already too good to you guys. You guys don't know what you have, you know? That's the sad part. But incline supremacy, this is probably, it's my second lift. I just ripped some weighted dips, and I like to start off with that because your body's important. But from here, we always move over to the incline. Uppercut supremacy. Oh, yeah. And that's the tail end of the lift.
A few moments later. 2,000 years later.
Thought that was gonna be a lot cooler. So right after I down the shake, I'm gonna have myself a bunch of fruit. I'm gonna have a lot of fruit. I'm gonna have dates, mangoes. I already have a banana in there, but maybe I do another banana. I'm thinking about going to this new restaurant that I found here in Turkey. Gonna go check that out. I think it's possible. You'll have to tune in to figure out if I decide to do it. It's very possible you just see me end up just in the same exact spot, but I'm thinking that's what we might go do. Could be fun. You know what I mean? You guys can see me out at a restaurant too. Make this a whole damn movie. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, I will see you for the next one. And what's cool is in the next clip, if you ain't a jabroni, you will wait to see if I decide to go to the restaurant, right? Because the next clip is either going to be me clearly not going, or I might be nicely dressed. You guys might see me in my full gentleman arc, how I actually look going out. I'm not always in tanks and gray sweatpants, you know what I'm saying? All right, boys, I decided to go out to dinner. And listen, I'm just gonna say something, okay? I know you guys are like, oh, Uncle Rami, you know, I'm used to seeing you in a tank, maybe some gray shorts, maybe some swim trunks. We dress up pretty decently, nothing too crazy. I'll be honest with you, I kind of just threw this together, okay? But that's just class. Notice the tuck-in. Now the tuck-in makes sense. You can't force the tuck-in, but with the cardigan over on top, we're talking about class that's just not seen in this day and age. I told you guys this. 3 pillars of the page if you're new here. Strength, resilience, character. You need all 3. And I'm gonna tell you right now, we're here to bring back class to the space. And it's just because of fitness especially. The crazy part is it's lost all class in that way. You know what I mean? All right, I'll either see you on the bus or at the restaurant. Hey, do you guys see that? This is like the sheep herder lady of the village. It's her and this other random dude that doesn't come around as often. I gotta give it to her. She takes the crown, but it fills up your heart. I see her every single morning and she just whips those bastards. I'm not capping. Like, she'll take them and just start whipping them up. It's nuts. It's absolutely nuts. You know what's kind of nuts? Another addition, by the way. This is the walk. This is kind of what we have going on here. So in order for me to get to places, I have to walk as a function to get there. But coming from the United States and coming from the Midwest specifically, it's kind of crazy, but walking is an activity. You know, like you have to allocate so much time to just walking. That's why you see step counting and stuff. But if walking is a function of how I need to get downtown and get to places, I'm not thinking about, oh, how many steps did I get in today? And it's kind of crazy. That's like the one thing I'll say, like the clear innate advantage, obviously. It's the idea that you genuinely have to walk to do things that is the advantage. Obviously, the views here are better than anything you'll see in the United States. That's very obvious. But the produce here is cleaner, it's better. Like that stuff's super important, but I believe it's movement above everything else. But that's kind of like one of like the cool things about being here is I just walk because I have to walk, not because I'm trying to get step counts in. Makes it a ton easier. They put me in the back of the bus like I'm Rosa Parks or some shit, you know what I'm saying? People don't understand, you know, you come into a new country. They treat you like second-class citizens. You don't see me complain. You don't see me bitch about anything now, do you? No, I shut my mouth like a good resident that I am, and I enjoy the land for what it gives me. Steps whenever I want, ridiculous views, and upper chest pumps. It's really all I'm here to do. Check that out, by the way. You see that? Absolute beauty. Yeah, I'll sit on the back of the bus like the low-class citizen I am, you know, even if I am technically illegally in this country. What's it to you? All right, dudes, this is the restaurant. You're about to hear my Turkish. Marhaba, nasılsın? What's up, my friend? Good to see you. Wow, this is nuts. Listen, boys, you guys know we're a health page, we're healthy, but when you're in Turkey, you do as the Turks, and it's like, you know, you have to have a little bit of a cig mid-meal. Not something I'm telling you guys should be doing. I'm running 2 days out here, hitting uphill sprints, working out hard just so I can keep up with the culture here. Are those guys doing hill sprints? No, absolutely not. But you have to spend health sometimes to be with the people you want to be with, you know? And you also don't want to, you know, offend the culture. That's like the biggest thing. See, you get served a nice tea, you get handed over some cigs. This is how it's done. You have the tea for health reasons, and this one, just to show them that, you know, I'm not a square or anything. Ashtray, like a gentleman, then you want to hang it over. That's the key. You want to hang it over to pretend that you've been doing this for a while. As you kind of look, you're not really looking, I mean, you're looking at a beautiful view, don't get me wrong, but you're not really looking at much. That's the key. And then you come in, like, okay, Abi, and you hit them with one of those. Easiest 1, 2, 3. Now you're Turkish. Listen, boys, I wasn't gonna take you through me eating, okay? We're just getting started in the vlog game, okay? So just calm your horses, okay? Let's not just expect everything out the gate. Don't go on me, I wanted this, I wanted that. Just be easy, all right? Ease up. But after every meal here in Turkey, you have to do one. Typically, I'm a doubles kind of guy. But after dinner, it just feels a little bit gluttonous. I feel like a single post-dinner, especially when the guy's like, let me get you a coffee. You say, sure, I'll take a single. You gotta read the room, but in other cases, it's one head nod in every single coffee shop I'm in, and it's doubles on the hatch, but this is how we do it. Oh, that's fantastic. That's absolutely phenomenal. That's nuts. That's probably the best coffee I've had. This is what it looks like. People are like, oh, dude, I kind of want to be flexible with my work. I want to be able to work from anywhere. But I'm doing work while I'm having to do all this stuff. You know what I mean? That's the thing that sucks is, especially when you're operating your own businesses, you can't really turn off. But what I will tell you is I like my life looking like a stir fry. So I'm always kind of doing work whenever I have an opportunity to, whenever I need to start posting stuff or I need to put stuff together or answer emails or respond to clients, all of it. I just kind of get it done. I open up as needed, but when I'm out, I try to be out and enjoy myself. But when there's time to work, you work. When I'm on, I'm on. When I'm off, I'm off. That's personally how I go about doing it. Teşekkürler. Oh, that's a good cappuccino. That looks good. Anyways, doubles, back to normal. The other place, I'm not gonna lie, the other place had the best coffee I've ever had in my life. The time that I decided to have a single ended up being quite literally the best coffee I've ever had in my life. I was pretty upset, but regardless, we're back to doubles. Still tucked in like a gentleman. Afiyet olsun. Whatever they say. All right, we just made it back with a taxi, and I have to walk my ass all the way back up. I could easily have the guy take me to the door, but you want to know why I do it, boys? For one reason. Never once have I walked up this hill and was like, shit, dude, I'm really angry I did it. Screw it. And you walk all the way up the hill. If it were easy, everybody would do it. People talk a big game. It's freaking 11 o'clock. I could easily just do it. Now I'm going to go dangle the donut on top of hiking. This is where the Crusaders live. And now we dangle the donut. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. Bro, how are you about to work out right now? It's 11:30. I actually think it's about midnight. Just got back to the crib, finished up on a little bit more work, and then I'm out here dangling the donut. Because right now, after this, I'm going to go smash. Unfortunately, listen, be easy on me. Told you guys, my first time doing this vlog thing, you know? So I'm gonna go inside and yes, I'm gonna cook up some dinner and then I'm gonna smash that dinner and then I'm gonna pass out and go to sleep. But beforehand, I'll show you guys a set. I'm about to finish up on a little bit of chest. Usually I do more accessory work in addition to what I did earlier. But today, if anything, I might do a little bit of extra core, right? I already kind of hit core earlier and most of my body's pretty touched up. If anything, maybe I was thinking about doing some neck. Probably do neck action now that I think about it. But just so you know, this is how we finish out. And I know what you're thinking. It's a little bit psychotic. You actually do this all the time. Bro, you're capping. You ain't lifting. No, this is what I do every single night. Those of you guys that are on Instagram, you know that from the stories. I dangle the donut every single night. Does not matter what time it is. Lately, you know, I'm thinking about segueing maybe out of that a little bit more. But it's funny, once you start doing something, you feel guilty when you don't do it. So let me show you just a little bit of light work, right? We're just here to kind of get a nice little mind-muscle connection. I think that'll do. Yeah, that'll do. I did hit a little bit before the video. I did incline dumbbell presses, flat dumbbell presses, and then cable variations. So I'm finishing off with the Smith machine just to really lock into the muscle. That way, once I'm done dangling the donut, I want to make sure I'm feeding my muscles. And that way I pass out, go to sleep, and they recover beautifully. Little bro science for you. And I'm going a little bit steeper on this incline because earlier I didn't really go steep. And that's why I like to kind of mess around with dangling the donut. It's just whatever I'm feeling, you know? Most of the time I'm going to do a little bit of layover from earlier, but more times it's more geared towards accessories if I didn't have time to hit them earlier. But I did hit them both earlier, so what? A little bit of fun. Oh, Jesus, dude. My God, you hear those hiccups? It's probably that dinner I just had. Lock in. Come on. No. I'm going to finish up with flat. Before I smash this last set, it's important for you guys to know you can be in really beautiful spots, and I'm very thankful for where I'm at, all joking aside. But I'm very fortunate to be where I'm at, to be in a position where I'm as flexible as I am locationally, where I'm not dependent on being in a specific place, you know, to earn an income and to make a living. But it's one of those things that it takes you actually getting over everyone else's opinion of you around you, to where you're just in your head like, I'm gonna beat to my own drum. I used to operate always from a perspective of everybody else. What is everyone else gonna think? Well, I don't wanna make this person angry. I don't wanna make this person uncomfortable. Until eventually you're wiggled into a corner when you do it long enough. And in my opinion, when a man's back is against the wall, he seems to do his best work. And I can at least say that from my perspective, that happened with me. But to think that, oh my gosh, dude, like, you know, oh yeah, like there's something special about me and that's why I'm here. It's not how that works. It's not. I mean that. I think a lot of people really look at this stuff and they say, oh, like, dude, I wish that could be me. And I know that because I used to think that way. It's crazy. I used to hear people literally on the other side of the camera saying the same exact stuff. Dude, you can do it too. And I'm just like, shut up. You know, shut the fuck up. Thanks, bro. I appreciate it. Just keep on doing your video thing. You know, I remember like that, but it was also because it was super uncomfortable to hear. Because there's a part of you that almost doesn't even want to believe it, because then it means that I have failed. It's easier when you say, oh, you know, I wasn't meant for it. But until you try, you don't know. But nonetheless, even when you are doing, you know, on paper, it looks beautiful, everything in your life, you still have to show up and pay the rent every single day. Every single day. Does not matter. You see, I always have my computer out trying to do something whenever I have a little bit of time. It's an obsession. It's not something that leaves you. You know, I look up and I'm really appreciative for where I'm at, but then I just sink right back into the computer. And it's just because that's where shit is getting done for me. It's just boring work. They just moves the needle. And it's so funny, like the things that you look at, like when you see glamorous shit, you think that the work is glamorous, and it is quite literally the exact opposite. You would think to yourself, seriously? You're like, yep, this is what moves the needle. And that's why people don't do it, because it's boring. But the boring work is always the most effective. All right, we're gonna finish this bad boy up, baby. And that's how it's done. Last set. And then I'm gonna smash. Oh yeah, dude, the fat kid in me is beyond excited. Finish. That's it. That's how you finish strong on the day, baby. That's how you finish strong. Ain't nothing like finishing strong, man. Anyways, I hope you guys appreciate this video. Uncle Rami, you're seriously not going to take us into the kitchen and eat? Yeah. I'm starving. I'm exhausted. I still got a little bit more shit to do. You know what I'm saying? Listen, what I'm thinking about doing is having a full-time videographer, and that way it's a lot more, like people say what's cool is like, you know, dude, you're so raw, so genuine, so authentic. I love that. I don't want to compromise that, but you guys know it's like, if someone were to put up a tripod and then it's like, okay, I have to make sure the tripod's in a good angle. Got to make sure the microphone's working. Is everything going? By the time you sit down, it's just like, took away the good energy. But if there's a videographer here, you know, full-time, doing all the editing, and all I do is just basically check it out afterwards, that's perfect. If you want it to be raw, but that's my goal. Even when the first time I started doing YouTube and Instagram was basically, how can I come through as I would in real life with the camera up as much as possible? Like get that to 100% to where the camera's up or not, I'm the same exact person. I speak the same exact way. You'd notice quite literally no difference. Understand, this is the kind of life that you want to live. The problem is most of it is having to be done in isolation, and I aim to fix that in a real way. You guys have been hearing me talk about Crusader, which I promise there will be time where I explain everything and what it actually is, but this is what we aim to fix. It's about everyone having a vested interest in one another's success, like from a real standpoint, not just like, yeah, cheer him on, but like his success actually is your success. And no one's been able to set that up because it's extremely difficult. But I aim to do that in a real way. We have some special people on this page, especially because I get so many DMs that I'm like, oh, very, very impressive individuals, which isn't normal. So I'm very excited for that. But I love you guys. From Uncle Rami to the Natural Crusaders, I love you guys. Uncle Rami out.